from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Good evening, I'm Forecaster John Bordash live with you right now in the JB Weather Center, and we do now have a brand new tornado warning in effect for parts of St. Mary's and Calvert County, really in the heart of our coverage area, and we'll get you the latest details right now. These areas here shaded in pink, this is going to include Loveville, Morganza, Oakville, Sandgates, Brooms Island, Mutual, White Sands, parts of Leslie, and the Chesapeake Ranch Estates are all under this tornado warning until 9:15. At 8:42, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Sheridan Point or moving east at 15 miles per hour. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will become dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed in this type of a situation. Tree damage will be likely. Again, this is a brand new tornado warning until 9:15. This is going to be for central parts of St. Mary's County. We're talking Loveville, Morganza, Oakville, Sandgates, and then south central parts of Calvert County. We're talking Brooms Island, Mutual, really from about Route 4 in Calvert County back towards the Patuxent River. So if you're from Route 4 in Calvert County towards the bay, you're not under this tornado warning right now. Solomon's is not included. Cove Point's not included. Our Bayside location's not included. If you are located within this tornado warning, this is what you want to be doing right now. These are your tornado safety protocols. You are moving indoors to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. A shed, a mobile home, a trailer, that's not going to cut it in this situation. You need to be moving to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. Move to the lowest level of your home. That's either going to be a basement or a first floor. I need you on one of those two levels for the next, we'll call it the next half hour or so. Move into an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outdoors as possible. You don't want to be near any windows. My mind goes to moving into a hallway, a closet, or a bathroom. Growing up, I grew up in Lesby. We grew up in a ranch-style home. It was one level. We didn't have a basement. My mom would get us into the only room that didn't touch an exterior wall. That was a bathroom. We got into the bathtub, and you want to cover your head and body. We would always have a mattress, have a helmet or something to ride these types of storms out. If there is indeed a tornado touchdown, you need to be prepared for the worst. And again, this isn't something we're going to necessarily freak out. We're going to take the necessary precautions with this. Let's take it back over here towards radar again. This pink polygon, this is your tornado warning. If you're in this pink polygon, you're going to be under this warning until 9:15. Right now, this is just a radar-indicated tornado. There is no confirmed touchdown right now, but it is very possible, if not likely, that we do see a tornado try to touch down. This is a different look at our radar. This is going to be our velocity mode. This is a mode in radar that shows us where we have winds in the atmosphere, in which direction they're moving, and how fast they're moving. When we're looking for potential tornado signatures, we're trying to see where we can get areas that are shaded in green and red touching. That indicates winds going towards the radar in green and winds away from the radar in the red. And we have one of those couplets here right over Oakville. If we draw this, we can see we have winds coming away from the radar right here and towards the radar right here, right over Oakville. This is coming right into Sandgates. And this will be crossing the Patuxent River here very shortly. And this is not a fast-moving storm. So right now, this is located right over State Highway 472, Cat Creek Road, Holly Lane, down here towards Sandgates Trail Lane. These are the regions, and this is going to cross the Patuxent River here, getting into Brooms Island. And this is really going to be here, a slow-moving storm over the next 10 or 15 minutes for it to cross the Patuxent River fully. And then when it does so, it's trajectory is going to continue it towards Route 4, eventually towards White Sands, and we'll see if this is able to continue the rotation. If it is indeed able to continue that rotation, this is then going to become an issue for these bayside locations between St. Leonard and Cove Point. And we did just now get an update here with the tornado warning polygon coming in right now to the JB Weather Center. The tornado warning remains in effect till 9:15 for north central St. Mary's County and south central Calvert counties until 9:15. At 8:49, this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado remains parked over Sheridan Point, slowly moving east at 15 miles per hour. The National Weather Service is also noting the potential for hail upwards of 2 inches in diameter. This means that we're going to be tracking this potential for large hail really within this pink ball right here. That's going to be where you have your hail core. So this will be moving over areas that aren't even in the tornado warning. So if you're in Barstow, Port Republic, Mutual, St. Leonard, southern parts of Prince Frederick, south of 231, south of Dares Beach Road, get ready. You have some large hail coming your way over the next half an hour. You're not under the tornado warning. The main tornado threat with this storm, let me outline it for you. We track that right here over Oakville and Sandgates, pushing east at about 15 miles an hour. This is where your core threat is going to be for your potential tornado touchdown. It's going to be for this region, Sandgates to Brooms Island to White Sands, potentially coming just south of Long Beach, just north of Cove Point. That's going to be your area of interest. That pink ball, though, that's going to be representing that potential for hail upwards of 2 inches in diameter. That's going to be tracking here into Mutual, St. Leonard, Port Republic, this area here along Route 4. Over the next half hour, and you're going to want to stay weather aware as this continues to track here towards the east. Taking a larger look, this does not include southern St. Mary's County. If you are south of California, if you're south of Route 4, this doesn't include you. This barely includes parts of Hollywood. This is really Oakville, Sandgates, Morganza. This is south of Golden Beach. That's your region in St. Mary's County. If you're in Calvert County, this does not include you in Solomons. This storm will pass just barely to your north. That main corridor, again, this storm is coming right over Sandgates right now. This will be coming over the Brooms Island area, headed towards Maple Road, eventually on over towards White Sands and Route 4, before coming here towards the Long Beach area and Calvert Beach, and then just north of Cove Point. That's going to be your region of concern, and if you are in those regions, even if you're not under that tornado warning, those bayside locations from St. Leonard to Cove Point, moving to your tornado safe spot. And let's get back to those tornado safety precautions right now. Again, if you're in that tornado warning, if you're in the potential path of this potential touchdown, you're moving indoors to a substantial shelter. I need you in a building that has a foundation. If a tornado does indeed touch down, we saw just a couple of weeks ago with those storms that rolled through St. Mary's County and Charles County. Even a weak tornado can cause damage to houses, so I need you in a building that has a foundation that's not going to get picked up and thrown around easily. Move to the lowest level of your home. That's either a basement. Many of you in this region don't have basements, so it's going to be a first floor for you. Move into an interior room, a hallway, a closet, a bathroom. That's going to be your best line of defense against potential debris flying outside. As many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you want to cover your head and body. Bring a mattress, bring a helmet, get into the bathtub, get up against the wall in your hallway, and ride the storm out. Have your phone handy, listen to me. I'll walk you through the storm here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. If you're just now joining, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, continuing to track a rather dangerous storm moving right through the heart of our coverage area. We do still have this active tornado warning in effect till 9:15 for the heart of our coverage area, to show you where this tornado is, where it is in effect and where it's not in effect. Again, it is this pink polygon right here that's going to include Morganza, Oakville, Sandgates, crossing the Patuxent River then into parts of Calvert County, Brooms Island, Mutual, and kind of right up towards Route 4 there in St. Leonard and Lusby. So if you're from Route 4 points to the bay, you're not technically under this tornado warning. With that said, if you're in St. Leonard, Long Beach, Calvert Beach, or Cove Point, those are going to be locations. I'm already thinking ahead here as we head towards 9:30. Those are going to be locations that want to be under those tornado safety precautions as well. We want to just imagine that this tornado warning is extended that extra mile and a half out towards the bay as this storm continues to race here, or not even race, slowly jog towards the east. Let's take a look at that base velocity, see how this storm continues to evolve as it continues to track here towards the east. The good news here is this rotation couplet isn't necessarily as strong, but I've seen plenty of tornado couplets that look like this produce tornadoes in the past, so we're going to continue to treat this seriously. Your area of rotation is going to be right in this region, right where we get that couplet of that red and green touching that indicates the radar, where we have the potential for clouds to start to rotate and winds to begin to rotate. That's right over Snow Hill Road, Meadow Road, getting on over here towards Peninsula Drive, Sampson's Harbor Farm here in Sandgates. This is right up along the Patuxent River now. If you're in Brooms Island, we're talking the Patuxent Avenue, Island Landing Court, J.L. Bowen Road. Those are the regions. You're up next to potentially have the storm move right overhead. This will be continuing to move up along Marshall Road as well. So if these roads sound familiar to you, you live just off of those, you need to be in those tornado safe places right now, and definitely for the next 10 to 15 minutes as this storm continues here to move to the east. And it does look like our newest radar scan is in, continuing to show where we have that area of rotation really focused here, coming right over Sandgates, over Drumcliff Road, right over the Patuxent River right now. And this will be moving right over Brooms Island here, really over the next 5 or 10 minutes. This isn't a fast-moving storm. I've been live with you thus far for about 12 to 15 minutes, and this storm has very slowly worked its way from Morganza on over towards Sandgates, and then just now getting over the Patuxent River. This is not a fast-moving storm. Now, let's also touch on, where is this tornado warning not in effect? Where do you not need to be worried about this storm right now? If you are in the vast majority of St. Mary's County, outside of Oakville, Sandgates, or Morganza, if you're outside of those regions, let's say you're in Leonardtown watching me, you're in Lexington Park, you're in Mechanicsville, Charlotte Hall, you're not included in this tornado warning. In Calvert County, if you're north of St. Leonard, north of Port Republic, this isn't going to be a storm you need to worry about potentially producing a tornado for you. We're really focusing here between St. Leonard and about Lusby or so, from about Route 4 to the Patuxent River in Calvert County, and from the Patuxent River to about 235. That's going to be your concise area where we're really going to be watching this storm as it continues here to move towards the east. And this is going to be a storm that needs to continue to be watched, because I see no real signs of this storm weakening. It continues to show that potential for rotation in this region. So areas up along Brooms Island Road, we're talking Lloyd Bowen Road, Fish Hook Drive, over here towards Ross Road, Maple Road. These are all areas, if you live near any of these locations, those are going to be the areas that need to be taking this storm exceptionally seriously as it continues to track here. I do want to zoom out quickly. We did have a tornado warning earlier. I know, very quickly to touch on this, we do have some followers up in this region, namely my younger sister here in the Baltimore area. This is a tornado warning for mainly Howard County. This, I believe, expires here in about 2 minutes. That storm is beginning to weaken as it moves into Baltimore City. So for those of you in that region wondering about that storm, it's beginning to die off a little bit. Coming back, though, here into our main storm here. Again, this is right to the south of Brooms Island. The good news is, while this storm still remains strong, still possesses that potential to rotate, it's beginning to kind of broaden itself out a little bit, which is great news. With that said, we still see this red and green couplet here, kind of right over Brooms Island, coming across the Patuxent River. It's very possible, and this actually happens a lot as these storms pass over the Potomac or the Patuxent Rivers, that they're able to spin up water spouts, and those water spouts could easily translate on land and become tornadoes. Granted, they're by and large EF0, EF1 tornadoes, but they're tornadoes nonetheless. So this has the potential to produce a water spout right now as it crosses the Patuxent River and continues to move here towards the east. So looking ahead, we're talking White Sands. You're going to be up next after Brooms Island to be in the potential crosshairs of this. And looking forward, Camp Canoy Road, Calvert Cliffs Parkway. Those are going to be the locations after White Sands once the storm crosses Route 4 that has to stay aware of this storm. And even though it's pulsating down right now, this storm has a long history of rotating. I've been tracking this storm all the evening, and if you've been on the prior live streams, you know that I've been watching these storms try to rotate a little bit. The atmospheric dynamics are not overly conducive for a tornado outbreak, so I'm not overly concerned about widespread tornadoes across the region. The atmosphere is conducive, though, for at least a little bit of spin, and that's what we're seeing right now with this storm as it continues here to track to the east. Let me bring it back on over. Let's rewind a little bit. If you're still in this tornado warning polygon, that remains in effect for the next 15 minutes. That remains up for St. Leonard, White Sands, parts of Lusby. Again, we're talking Route 4 in Calvert County between St. Leonard and Lusby, back towards the Patuxent River. This is what you need to be doing. You want to be moving indoors to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. I need you in a building with a foundation, not a shed, not a mobile home, not a trailer. You need to move to the lowest level of your home. And again, I tell this story a lot, but growing up, I grew up in the Chesapeake Ranch Estates. We grew up in a one-floor ranch-style home. We didn't have a basement. We only had that one floor, so we stayed on that one floor. That's as low as we could get. Our house had a foundation, which was good. Many of our houses do here in this part of our region. And you want to get to an interior room. So for us, that was going to be a bathroom. For some of you, that might only be a hallway, or maybe it's a closet. Any of those are going to be good. You want as many walls, as much space between you and the outside as possible. If this storm does indeed produce a tornado, there will be debris flying around, and you want to protect yourself from that debris. So you can do that by separating yourself as much as you can from the outside, and you can also do that by covering your head and body. By that, we're talking about the potential for you to maybe bring a mattress with you, bring a helmet, and you also want to bring some important documents with you. Maybe if you're a chick and you have a purse, you want to bring that with you. Make sure your wallet's with you. In case this is a dangerous situation that does indeed end up playing out, you want to have that information with you and not trying to figure out after the storm passes at 9 o'clock at night where everything is. Get everything together. This isn't a situation you need to be freaking out over. What we do need to be doing is taking those tornado safety precautions, though, and we know what we need to do as we continue to track this storm. A brand new radar scan just came in right now on William Richmond Inc. Live HD radar, and it continues to show this area of rotation now coming on shore here in Brooms Island. Again, this storm, while it might not be as strong as it once was, it continues to be strong and still continues to potentially try to produce a tornado. And we just got a new update from the National Weather Service. Let me get you that latest information. As of 9:02, the tornado warning remains in effect until 9:15 for north central St. Mary's County and south central Calvert County. At 9:02, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Greenwell State Park, moving east at 20 miles per hour. The main hazards here, that potential for a tornado and 2-inch size hail. And again, this is radar indicated rotation. Nothing is confirmed on the ground or over the Patuxent River right now, but this storm still does have that potential to try to rotate. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding and windows may occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed if a tornado does indeed touch down. Tree damage will be likely with this. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas in north central St. Mary's and south central Calvert counties, including Sauterley. A torrential rainfall is also occurring with this storm as it continues to track to the east. The National Weather Service is just highlighting one location. I want to go ahead and highlight additional locations for you that are going to be under the risk of this. We're talking White Sands, we're talking Long Beach and Calvert Beach, Calvert Cliffs, Lusby. The southern edge of this warning does come down here through parts of Lusby on over towards Millbridge Road. Now, once you hit Route 4, this warning comes to an end, but if we extend this out, that's going to include Cove Point. This is going to include Calvert Cliffs. This is going to include Long Beach, Calvert Beach, and St. Leonard. If you're in the Chesapeake Ranch Estates right now, the worst of this storm should pass to your north. With that said, these storms are very prone to take very minute wobbles of only a couple miles. With that in mind, this storm could very easily take a little bit of a jog southward and then move maybe more towards Cove Point than it does Long Beach. With that in mind, if you're in the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, I want you taking those tornado safety precautions as well. We need to be prepared for a storm, and we need to be ready to go if the worst case scenario does happen. The latest radar scan is now in, and we can continue to see where we have this rotation starting to come on shore here in parts of Brooms Island. This is headed right up towards 265. This is coming here right up along. Let me get some road names for you. My apologies, I'm looking at several screens to get the complete story with this storm. So we're talking right over here towards really Maple Road is going to be up next for this storm. Cage Road. Coming over here toward, again, we're talking Maple Road, Garrity Road. After this will be coming right up towards the Perry Lane area, headed on over towards Grover Road. Sollers Wharf Road. So if these road names sound familiar to you, this is going to be where this rotation is going to be headed towards next, coming right into White Sands. I'm thinking if I live near the Vera's Beach Club, I'm under this tornado warning. I'm taking those tornado safety precautions right now, and I'm headed to the lowest level of my home. This storm won't just end when it hits Route 4, where this tornado warning polygon ends. If I'm in Calvert Beach, Long Beach, if I'm over here towards Calvert Cliffs, Lusby, even in Cove Point, I'm taking those tornado safety precautions because this storm will continue to track here towards the east. Now, while this does not include the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, this storm does have the potential to move around a little bit in the way that it moves here to the east. So anyone near this tornado tornado warning polygon, we're going to be taking this storm seriously as it continues here to track towards the east. The latest radar scan is now in. Let's go ahead and analyze this. I'm seeing this rotation continuing to come right here. It looks like right now we are taking this right over Maple Road with this latest radar scan. We do now have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, which is good news, in effect for southern Calvert County. This will go here until 9:45. So to me, this is just an extension of the tornado warning. The National Weather Service is saying that the thunderstorm threat damage with this storm is considerable. And this includes many areas. This includes, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Greenwell State Park, St. Leonard Creek, Cuckold Creek, Flag Harbor, Calvert Cliffs, Lusby, St. Leonard, Drum Point, Long Beach, Calvert Beach, Port Republic, Dowell, and Sotterley. I want to go ahead. I want to get this severe thunderstorm warning posted up to our social media accounts for our friends that are unable to watch us here on the live stream. As I do so, I will let you know that the National Weather Service is continuing to highlight the threat of this storm potentially producing hail upwards of 2 inches in diameter up towards golf ball size as it continues here to move towards the east. This is a considerable threat that this storm poses here for southern parts of Calvert County now. If you're in St. Mary's County, I'm going to go ahead and give you the all clear from this storm as it continues here to track towards the east. This has now crossed the Patuxent River for you. And and we are getting new scans in as I type this out. So let me go ahead and get that posted up. I want to go ahead and dive right here back into radar, get you the latest information we have coming in. I'm continuing to see this rotation right now. Here we go, right over the St. Leonard Creek. So here's going to be your rotation. It has just now crossed over Maple Road. This is going to be coming right here into the White Sands area, and it looks like the tornado warning has been allowed to get dropped. With that said, though, I'm not sure that's the best move. We seem to have this ongoing theme here over the last 7 months where I tend to disagree with the National Weather Service with these types of things, but we're continuing to track this dangerous storm here. This is coming right into the White Sands area. So if you're right up along Route 4 here, I'm going to go ahead and get that away. And we're going to track this continuing to head here towards the east. So this is going to be coming here. Let me get that away. So this is going to be coming right over Spruce Drive, Pine Boulevard, Grover Road. We're coming down here towards Little Grover Road and eventually heading on over here towards Camp Canoy Road and Calvert Cliffs. This is going to be this entire region as the storm continues here to track towards the east. This one program here isn't updating with the latest, but now that this storm is beginning to push out of our tornado warning polygon, this tornado warning is beginning to become invalidated. So if you're on Brooms Island, if you're in Mutual, if you're in most of St. Leonard north of Long Beach, you're still dealing with some nasty conditions with this. With that said, if you're in White Sands or Calvert Cliffs or even Cove Point, I'm going to continue to tell you, you need to stay aware of this storm. I would draw a tornado warning polygon, something like this in this region as the storm continues to track east. This is White Sands, Calvert Cliffs, Cove Point. This is by and large north of the Chesapeake Ranch Estates. That latest reflectivity data we were just looking at continues to look quite impressive for our region. Really here, coming right through White Sands. This will be crossing Route 4 here momentarily. And then this is going to be pushing towards Calvert Cliffs. So while this tornado warning, it appears, has been allowed to expire for right now, that tornado threat to me still seems rather high, and I'm not ready just yet to say that this storm is, the tornado threat is done with it. In the very least, we're talking a damaging wind threat with it. At the maximum worst case scenario, we're still talking a tornado threat with this storm. The National Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning, though, until 9:45. We're going to treat this like a tornado warning. This is for southern Calvert County until 9:45. Expect wind damage to trees and power lines. Hail is going to be large enough to dent and damage vehicles with this storm, again between 1 to 2 inches in size. Some hail damage to roofs, siding, and windows is also going to be possible, along with the potential for damaging winds with this storm. So for your protection, we're moving into an interior room. Let me go ahead, and I do see quickly as I glance over some people wanting to know specific locations. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to take the radar data off. This really shows you where those polygons are. We're talking Port Republic, south of Weems Road, really. German Chapel Road, south of there, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45. The area I'm worried about can still, under this potential tornado threat, is going to be White Sands, right here, Vera Court, Pine Boulevard, Planters Wharf Road, just to the north here of Grover Road, getting on over here towards Camp Canoy Road and Calvert Cliffs. That's really going to be that small corridor. I'm still heightened and still aware of that potential for a tornado in this region. Areas that are now out of this threat. St. Mary's County, you're pretty much done with this tornado threat right now. So if you were in Sandgates in your tornado safe space, you're out of the tornado warning. No place in St. Mary's County is under an active tornado warning. With that said, Calvert County, I'm still rather concerned about the way that this storm continues to look. And I really wouldn't take solace or take it for granted that this tornado warning has been allowed to expire, because I still see a decent amount of rotation and is just now approaching Route 4. And again, this is really going to be the height of our severe weather threat for today. I'm not seeing too much of a severe weather threat as we head into this evening and overnight hours. So that's going to be very good news with this. What I want to do is take you on over to our 4-panel radar. This gets a little wonky, but it really allows me to show you what it is I'm tracking and why I continue to believe that this storm has the potential to produce a tornado. I want to bring you on over here. Again, this is going to be our 4-panel radar. Let me turn that off. So in your top left screen, you have regular radar. Here in the top right, this is going to be our velocity mode we were just looking at, just north of Lesby here, getting into Calvert Cliffs. What I'm seeing here, and it's actually probably better if I just use the 1 panel with this. Let me bring you on over here. Our rotation tracker, where we can get these blues and greens. This is a different product. That indicates where we have high levels of rotation. We saw this really coming overhead here as this passed over Maple Road, getting towards the Route 4 area. I do see some evidence and maybe a little bit of debris with this, potentially leading me to think that there could have been a tornado at one point with this storm. With that said, I am continuing. You can see where we have that green and red really coming here into this region, crossing Route 4. This will be coming just up along Calvert Cliffs here as this storm continues to track towards the east. Let me bring it back on over. This is that prettier version of radar I like to use. And we can still see where we have rotation with this storm, white sands, right here. This storm is almost to the bay, so this tornado threat is almost done with for our region. I think once this storm pushes through, this is going to be it for our area. I think that heavy rain threat remains throughout the night. With that said, it's going to continue to be an active evening. Lots of storms to our south and west still have to push through throughout the evening. So St. Mary's County, you're about to get in on another round of heavy rain. The good news is I don't really see areas of rotation within this storm, or within these storms, like I do with our current storm in Calvert County. We've been tracking this now for well over half an hour. If you've been with me throughout the evening, much of the night, we've seen this storm here. And let's loop this here over the last hour, and this is going to take us back a little bit. You can see where this storm initially prompted that tornado warning here in the Loveville area. You can see that rotation couplet. You can see how that really kind of held together to cross the Potomac, or the Patuxent River here, as this is now getting here into southern parts of Calvert County. Lots of questions about PG County. You're fine. You're probably seeing rain, hearing thunder, but no severe weather threat for you. Charles County, no severe weather threat for you right now. St. Mary's County, no severe weather threat for you right now. This is really just southern Calvert County. This is from about Port Republic, Weems Road, points southward here. And I'm still seeing this potential for rotation right here into the White Sands area. This is crossing Route 4 right now. This is coming here right into the Calvert Cliffs area. We're talking Camp Conoy Road. This is really getting here into that nuclear power plant region. So Cove Point, the worst of this storm is to your north. The Chesapeake Ranch Estates, the worst of this is to your north. This is really a small corridor that we're tracking with this storm as it continues to move here to the east. Outside of that, we're really seeing things begin to calm down by and large. Zooming out, you can see that much of the region at large now isn't dealing with a whole bunch of rain. Like, you're seeing some clearing skies. Rain's moving back overhead in Charles and St. Mary's counties for your Potomac locations. But this storm here in southern Calvert County remains to be the only severe storm that we're tracking. And yeah, we're still seeing at least a little bit of rotation with this storm. It's now probably right over the nuclear power plant, getting ready to head over towards the bay. If you have any interest over towards the eastern shore, we're talking Dorchester County, Talbot County, Cambridge, Easton, these regions, St. Michael's, Church Creek, Trape, Oxford. Be aware, this storm will continue to track to the east, and as it moves over the bay, water is going to be something that allows these storms to rotate more because there's a lack of friction. So the winds can move more freely. They can rotate around and spin up water spouts. That's why water spouts are more likely to happen than tornadoes, because they're going to be over water. With that said, though, we continue to track this potential of a tornado. Moving through the northern half of Lesbi, really here, White Sands, it's now crossed over Route 4, getting here right into the Calvert Cliffs area, just north of Cove Point. So if you're in the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, you're seeing rain, you're probably hearing the thunder. We note that there is a decent, a lot of lightning with this storm, up near 400 strikes of lightning as this storm continues to track to the east. And we have new research studies coming out that show increases in lightning strike density indicates the higher potential of a tornado. So when we see a lot of lightning like this, that indicates to us this thunderstorm is mature, it's rotating, and has that potential to put down a tornado. But this is moving here towards the east. This should be out over the bay, if not right now, momentarily. And we'll see things begin to calm down. We have a new update from the National Weather Service. This severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 9:45 for southeastern Calvert County. So not a tornado warning. What this is, though, a severe thunderstorm warning. At 9:20, a severe thunderstorm was located over St. Leonard Creek, moving east at 15 miles an hour. Main hazards, ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, in addition to flooding rain. We have the gusty winds, frequent lightning with this storm as it continues to track here towards the east. I want to take a look and see how much rain we've seen out of this storm. It's been producing heavy rain for a long time now. I'm going to see if we can get this loaded up here. Let me come over here. Let me come back over here. Yeah, we should be able to get that. There we go. So we saw areas here in blue, that's going to be over 1 inch of rain. Areas in purple, you've seen up over 2 inches of rain. So we've seen 1 to 2, in some cases upwards of 3 inches of rain from Mechanicsville through Morganza, Sandgates, Brooms Island, now getting into Lesbi. So we've seen plenty of rain with these storms as they've continued to track here towards the east. Right now, the highest severe weather threat is really confined here, where you see this orange polygon here. Long Beach, White Sands, Calvert Cliffs, Lesbi, Cove Point. This small little corridor is where your severe weather threat is going to be this evening for the next 15 minutes or so as the storm continues to race out towards the east. So I think most locations right now should be fine to come out of their tornado safe places. The highest tornado threat right now seems to have moved out over the bay. Our high resolution radar has this potential rotation really right on the shoreline there of the bay. Now, with that said, heavy rain will continue, and as I say that, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning up here for parts of Dorchester County. We were just highlighting these areas. And we'll, continue to track that storm as it moves out over the bay. But the severe weather threat for our region is now beginning to decrease. That tornado threat is really coming down. We said earlier today that severe weather risk was around 5%. Sure enough, that 5% decided to materialize in a track from about Mechanicsville through Morganza, Sandgates, Lesbi. That was the region that we saw the potential for rotation move through. The National Weather Service will come out tomorrow and see what actually happened. If you have any damage reports, please send them into the National Weather Service. Many of you are watching me on Facebook. Nothing wrong with that, but head over to their Facebook page. You can get their contact information there. The National Weather Service in Baltimore, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Send in these storm reports, and you can tweet them. You can put them on Facebook, email them your storm reports so that they can have an idea of what happened, because we can't get mad that we don't get coverage if we don't let people know what's going on down here. So let them know what's going on, and if we did indeed see a tornado touchdown, they will be able to assess that. So we will continue to see what's going on. So I think we're just about done. Look at that, you made it through. I know a lot of people in these tornado warning situations freak out, and there's no need for it. We know what we need to do in these types of situations, And look at you. You executed the plan. You were aware. You stayed with your trusted source. And we got through the storm. And now it's 9:24. The worst of the storm is now out over the bay. And we're going to continue to track this. So, yeah. And we have another band of heavy rain pushing in here across the Potomac River, getting here into Swan Point, Cobb Island. That'll be crossing the Wacomico River here into Chaptico. But the tornado threat's done with. I am tired. I've been up since 2 working on new stuff with the website and stuff. So I'm going to wrap things up now. I'm going to start to wind down and get ready for bed. Again, that heavy rain threat remains throughout the night. Potential for some thunderstorms. The severe risk is pretty much over with now. It was very low to start with, and there really isn't much anymore now, which is great news. So thank you so much for staying with me. I do appreciate you all turning to me for the latest information to guide you through these situations, and it is a blessing that I'm able to use my abilities to keep my community back home safe. So have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned here to JB Weather for the latest, and I'll continue to keep you ahead of any storm that fires up. In the meantime, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and again, keep it tuned right here for the latest.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.